Hello, hello. It's Carla Dawes with Rising into Resilience. I am an emotional resilience and EFT tapping coach for partners and loved ones of trauma survivors. And I'm here today to share with you a few, three actually, breathing techniques, really simple breathing techniques to use to calm your nervous system, to help you regulate your emotions and regulate your system so that you can show up in a regulated state for your partner and your family. And I highly suggest that these are daily practices. I personally have a daily breathwork practice that has been instrumental for me. Don't have to take the leap and meditate for an hour the first time that you start doing breathwork. If you already have a breathwork or meditation practice, that is amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. And a lot of my clients that I work with are very intimidated by starting a breathwork practice and feel intimidated by the concept of meditation, whether it's the idea that they have to sit with their thoughts, the idea that they have to sit still, the idea that they have to regulate their breath. And for some people, that's not an easy thing to do. So I'm here today to hopefully give you a couple of tools to try out and see what might work for you. So the first breathwork technique is basically diaphragmatic breath. So the most important thing, so many of us just breathe with our chest. So we just bring the air into our lungs and inhale, exhale here. And in order to deepen your breath, deepen your inhalation, deepen your exhalation, you really have to focus on trying to bring all that breath deep into your belly. Now, don't stress out if this is not available to you or if it's difficult for you. Just keep practicing. It's like anything. I often talk about the compound effect. One small practice each day, if you do 2 minutes today and every day for the next 365 days of the year, that's going to be a lot more than if you did nothing. And inevitably, you're going to build on the practice as well. So start with 2 minutes today, and then next week add another minute or two, and then next week add a few more minutes. And before you know it, you'll have a viable, committed breathwork practice. So back to the diaphragmatic breathing. So often what I suggest is put your one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. You can't see my belly in this video, but trust me, I have my hand on it. And if this is the first time for you, or if that feels uncomfortable for you, what might be useful for you is to lie down to try this practice. And just take a few breaths and see what happens for you. Are you able to draw breath into your belly? Are you able to feel your belly rise, or is it only just your chest rising at this point? So nice gentle inhale through your nose. And see what happens there. Do both your belly and your chest rise? Does just your chest rise? And another tool that you could use for this is to lie down and put a book on your belly or something that's a little bit heavier, just to see what happens there. All right. So just take a few nice inhales and exhales. And you can inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. You can inhale and exhale through your nose. Whatever is most comfortable for you is what you should start with. So inhale. So the idea is, as you get more practiced with this, you're going to try to draw as much air as you can down into your diaphragm. This is incredibly regulating for your system, and it really helps to calm your nervous system. So there is a very important nerve called the vagus nerve, and this kind of deep belly breathing stimulates your vagus nerve and helps with regulation as well. So that's tip number one. That's technique number one. It probably is the tougher of the three techniques, so I offer it first so that you can give it a try. The second technique that has worked really well for me in the past is something that I call four corners breathing. So essentially, anytime you're anywhere, even if you're outdoors, you can imagine being in a room that has four corners. And I always choose the top, like as close to the ceiling as I can get. So what you want to do here is inhale, and as you exhale, imagine pushing all that breath up into the corner of the room, and then just rotating clockwise through the room. So you can see how adding that visual, and you don't need to do the hand gestures as I did, but adding that visual of breathing, pushing your exhale up into the corner of the room is really powerful. It really gives you almost like it gives you a focus, and it really tunes you into your breath and what you're doing with your breath. So I love that practice, and I actually I have experienced panic attacks twice in my life, and the first one was when I was in my 20s, and I didn't even know at the time it was a panic attack. But when I was, I guess I would say in my 30s, probably about almost 15 years ago now, that is the technique that I used to calm my system when I was experiencing my panic attacks. So it can be used in a lot of situations. Grounding, it's good for grounding yourself as well. Okay, so that's technique number 2. So technique number 1, diaphragmatic breathing. Technique number 2, the 4 corners breathing. And technique number 3 is something that I learned from Mark Divine of Seal Fit fame. So it is a type of breathing that Marines use to calm their systems. They're often in highly dangerous, highly activating situations. And this type of breathing is called box breathing. And so this is the type of breathing where you inhale, hold, exhale, hold, inhale, hold, exhale, hold. So similar to the 4 corners breathing, a little bit more complicated than it though, because you're attempting to make your inhale, hold, exhale, hold all the same duration. So as an example, you would inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, inhale for a count of 4. And it doesn't necessarily have to be even. That's how I practice it. But there are other ways that you can do it as well. There are apps that you can download to help you with the timing of it, but just go ahead and give it a try now. So let's use 4. I think 4 is a really good place to start. So inhale for the count of 4. So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. So just give that a try on your own, counting in your head. I'm just going to do it now as well. Okay, so there you have it. 3 simple breathing practices that you can do really easily. So maybe do it when you're waiting at the dentist office, or when you're sitting in your car waiting for your kids to get to the car, or even when you just put your feet on the floor in the morning. Make it a daily practice, and before you know it, you'll be self-regulating. Thanks so much, and I hope you've enjoyed that video, and I look forward to offering more in the near future. Have a great day.